so box plot. So we know box plot basically looks like this kind of thing. I'm trying to keep it random width and stuff. This is worth 25% of the data. This is 25. This is 25. This is 25. Just because if one is bigger, like this seems to be bigger than this one, right? It just means the data is more spread out in that quarter of the data. Yeah. So imagine this represents 300 trees.
Yeah.
This is 25% of the trees, and imagine it's their heights. Yeah. So this is like 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters, 50, 60, 70, whatever. We're saying that, say that's 50. Let's getting too far up. Um, let's move it all down a little bit. Okay, so let's say that's 50,
Yeah.
and that's 60. We're saying the trees that are 25%, the data, 25% of the trees are from 50 to 60 meters tall. Whatever, I just
Yeah.
made it up, yeah? Um, and there's another group, you know, and let's just say that's 45 or something, yeah? So 45 to 50 is another group of trees, 45 to 50 feet tall, I mean meters tall, whatever it is we decide, yeah?
Mhm.
So you can have different ranges of heights and stuff for different amounts, but this is always sticking to 25%, that's another 25, that's another 25, that's another 25. Yeah, so they can ask you questions like, oh, how many trees are there in the, that are between 45 and 50 meters tall? And if you're told altogether that there are 300 trees, then you just do a quarter of that, which is 75 trees. There are 75 trees that are between 45 meters and 50 meters tall. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah? But the thing about like box plot is they're good for interpretation. So um, first of all, there's all sorts of small things to talk about. First of all, interquartile range is the most important thing to look at compared to if you wanted to make a judgment
Yeah.
or say something about the data, you would prefer to use the interquartile range
Yeah.
rather than the range, because the range
Is it from like
includes
two
the really
extremes?
crazy data, the minimum, the maximum, which doesn't really represent most of the trees, which are going to be around the middle 50%. Yeah, they're the
Okay.
normal trees, not the weirdo trees, the super tall and the super short. So the
Yeah.
middle 50% represents, or the interquartile range represents the data best. Now, the real thing that we do with box plot when we're interpreting is typical things are like battery life. That's a favorite. Yeah. Okay, and you go, you got Duracell, and you got this other company, Everready or something. Yeah, and they're saying, Duracell have. Let's do a new one. Yeah. So we've got Duracell, which is like this, and Everready, which are like, I don't know, like this. And you say, which one would you take for camping? And they usually have a scale as well, right? So let's say there's 0 days, and that's 100 day, no, 100 years or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And you say, which one would you take camping?
What's the other
And
one?
I don't know. I'm trying to make it look like so. Let's make it go all the way to the end. So it could last 0 days, and it could last 100 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's ever ready, and this is Duracell. So which one would you take for camping? Which one would you take?
Where's the medium?
Oh yeah, median there, median there.
Then I'll take the E one.
Actually, you would take Duracell because they're more reliable in that they've got a shorter um, range. Like this one, you could take 100 batteries and they might all die in 0 days. You see?
No.
That's the problem. You want reliability when it comes to batteries, so you know how many batteries to take. Like if they don't last that long, at least you know roughly how long they're gonna last, and then you can take more batteries. With Everready, you've got no idea. You need to take 1,000 batteries or 5 batteries. You've got no idea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is the main thing about just
So the shortest interquartile ranges are better.
so they
But
get
it's
the
smallest. The smallest interquartile range is better.
Yes, smaller range and smaller interquartile range is better. Oh, another thing they like to do, they love to say compare it, yeah? So if this got
Yeah.
2 marks, yeah, that
Yeah.
means just compare two things. And it doesn't really matter what you compare. You go, oh, well, Eveready's got a bigger median than, a higher median than the Duracell. 1 mark, and then you go, oh, Eveready's got, higher upper quartile. No, sorry, maximum. That's the maximum, isn't it? Yeah, that's the maximum. That's the upper quartile, the median, the lower
Yeah.
quartile, the minimum. Yeah. So you go, Eveready's got a higher maximum than the Duracell. Another mark, whatever. Yeah. The interpretation is a bit different to just comparing. Interpretation is like, okay, mainly looking at ranges, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also look at the median if you want to talk about who's more clever, or more higher, or lasts longer. So if we're talking about battery life and all that kind of stuff,
Okay.
yeah. I think that's about it about box plate.